So hello and welcome to this episode of Who Gives a Folk, the channel that's dedicated to all the things that are not quite folk horror, not quite normal everyday. And today I want to talk about an Australian film from 1986 called Frenchman's Farm. Now, it's not often referenced, this film, and I think it deserves a little more attention. It's very much of its time, but it's an early, I think it's an early Australian example of what we now think of as folk horror. Basically, there's not a lot of horror in it, but there's killings, there's ghost slips, time slips. There's enough to keep you interested. So the two main protagonists are called Jackie and Barry. They are almost carbon copies of Kylie and Jason's characters in Neighbours, except the odd thing is this film was made before Kylie and Jason ever got together on the set. That's kind of weird, but if you watch the film, it is just like watching Kylie and Jason, except really bad versions of them. Anyway, in the film, they're both law students, and Jackie's on her way somewhere. She takes a cut through to Harrisville, and she gets stuck on a bridge. That bridge is like a scene straight out of The Evil Dead, very reminiscent. And as she hits the bridge, or gets stuck on the bridge, the radio starts playing news clips from World War II. Now she's obviously a bit confused, pulls over, goes for a wander into a farm. In the farm, she sees a murder committed. A soldier from World War II is butchered, decapitated, and the murderer, because she obviously makes a noise, hears her, sees her, and chases her. Obviously, she gets away, but he puts a mattock hook into the back of her boot. So anyway, she escapes. She sees another sort of vintage car from the period with large gas containers on top, which were common during the Second World War in Australia, apparently. And then this car, as it goes down the road, just fades out of existence. The time slip's nicely done. It's all filmed in a different colour. It's more autumnal. There's more yellows and warm colours to the scenery, and that's quite a nice little sort of nod to the fact that the time's changed. The fact that everything else has stayed the same, and it's never really quite explained in the story why there's a time slip, nor how her bag that she left in 1944 is found 40 years later. But these are quibbles. Probably wouldn't think about it on the first viewing. So that's the story. She goes back to tell her boyfriend about what's happened. He's really understanding, dismisses everything she says. Basically, she says she's dreamt it. And then comes out with a classic line, which I haven't written down. Comes out with a classic line, basically saying, well, you just have to deal with it. What a douchebag. I mean, this guy really is, throughout the whole film, a complete and utter douchebag. But he's before Jason. Anyway, she goes off, she does some research, she finds some old newspaper reports about the time. It seems like the wrong man was arrested and executed for the murder. And yeah, you get the feeling this is going to be a revenge story of a wrongly executed person. She eventually gets Barry, Jason, Scott. Anyway, she gets a boyfriend. They go along. He does a bit of digging, bit of crypt investigation, gets arrested. And here we have a little subplot that comes up where the police are sort of following the story. They're tracking it down on their own side. But the two stories never really meet. You could easily have cut out the entire police subplot and you wouldn't know it was missing. Maybe they just wanted to make it a longer film. I don't know. It could have been tied together better. It wasn't. So it's less of a horror, more of a mystery. What's going on? What's happening? One of the problems is that you are constantly barraged with names, dates, places, none of which are really ever given a chance to fit into some sort of overall picture. There's a lot of red herrings. There's a lot of things that are left unexplained, and this can be a little unsatisfying. The film itself just rolls along, and if you just watch it as on a surface level, it works fine. But when you try and pick, you know, if you want to pick holes in it, you can. It is not a difficult film to pick holes in, but it's nice. And the farm itself kind of represents a liminal space between here and now, where time folds in on itself. It would have been nice to have seen that explored a little further, because then you find that you're going back in time. There start to be a Napoleonic War references it being made. We later find out there were other murders. There's a lot going on. It's just not presented as coherently as it could be. But having said that, the ideas are there. The ideas are good. Barry's really badly acted. I mean, yeah, dreadful. But the rest of them are pretty good. There is the classic grizzled detective. Some really good, what you would expect from the 80s. You get that early 80s computer technology that plays a big role in the film, and it's quite nice to see that again from now when you're getting slow printouts on paper telling you some important plot devices. Again, we're never really sure how this happens. If you're waiting for the reveal on that, keep waiting. But yeah, it's of its time. It has that nice period piece feel to it now, but it's quite nice. Um, there is a sort of folky horror, folk drama feel to it. I haven't seen it referenced in other folk horror books, or channels, but I think there is something to it. It has a distinct edge of M.R. James's A Warning to the Curious. Very strong. I don't know if that is accidental, if they were aware that they were plagiarizing James, but there's a very similar feel to it, and the Vicar and the archives all add to that sort of feel, except it's in Australia in February when it's summer and hot. But it's a nice film. It's been overlooked. If you do feel like watching it, you can get the DVD version, or you can watch the version on YouTube, which has 10 extra minutes in it. This has about 10 minutes cut out of it, and it's really dark, and it's a really bad transfer. Probably watch the YouTube version. The thing is, the DVD version actually has a slightly more satisfying ending, but the 10 minutes that have been cut out contain an extra murder, contain a lot of the plot devices being pulled together, make more of the police subplot, and make that slightly more relevant. Why they decided to cut it out, I don't know. It's like they padded it out, cut stuff out. God knows what fell on the cutting room floor. I haven't sold it very well, but it is worth looking at. It is worth a watch. And if you've liked this video, you'd like to find out more about films and TV programs that are a little bit left of the normal center, press like and subscribe. Is it horror? Is it mystery? Who gives a folk? Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.